acerca de cómo murió el puente entre tú y mis brazos. Quería hacer una canción acerca de cómo murió el puente entre tú y mis brazos. Inocente y triste te miro desde arriba. Ya no te permites abrazar mi alegría. Inocente y triste te miro desde arriba. Ya no te permites abrazar mi alegría. ¿A quién voy a abrazar y gritar toda mi esperanza? ¿A quién voy a abrazar y gritar toda mi esperanza? ¿A quién voy a abrazar y gritar toda mi esperanza? ¿A quién voy a abrazar y gritar toda mi esperanza? Necesito un reemplazante. Necesito un reemplazante. Necesito un reemplazante. Necesito un reemplazante. Para amar como tú te diste. No creer que no lo mereciste.
Good evening and welcome back to Iridinod, where something's happening, I can't remember. Someone went and killed our latest forgotten beast and I was most irked, and we're hoping that we get a goblin invasion so that someone will so that we can test out our shiny new ballista, but no goblin invasion has turned up yet. We have, as usual, a bunch of scholars kicking around, including an amphibian man overlord, and our outpost liaison is here. The dwarven caravan has wandered off. We're wondering whether we should do something about this poor caged guest. Where's our? There's our other forgotten beast. Yes. Wondering whether we should do I'm wondering whether we should do something about this pond grabber, just in order to encourage other wildlife to turn up, because we haven't seen any wildlife since this pond grabber arrived, and it's kind of getting a bit boring. And there's a shortage of things to eat, but we have made some efforts in the direction of having things to eat, because if I didn't make a pig's ear of this, I thought I bought some turkeys, but there's no sign of a turkey in my in our livestock list. That would be unfortunate. Oh well, maybe I didn't buy any turkeys. Maybe I considered buying turkeys and then got distracted, because I thought maybe we might want the ability to make eggs. And you can see we haven't had any very many deaths for a while. Oh, we did have a big pile of deaths, didn't we? In that a bunch of dwarves died because they got stuck on the upper caverns. So we have this long ramp here that leads between the lower and upper caverns, and in my search for more gems to encrust things with, I accidentally made it impassable, and the consequence was that a bunch of dwarves stuck up here couldn't get back down to the fortress in order to get anything to drink, and therefore died of dehydration, which is kind of embarrassing. I'm slightly surprised, because I would have thought there would have been some water in the caverns, but apparently not. I suppose it would probably be prone to running away, like down the ramp into the lower caverns. So yes, there will be a certain amount of sorting out the corpses, and I am considering the possibilities of thus building some backup arrangements for dwarves stuck in the upper caverns, like an additional staircase. No, look, there's water here. Water, blatant water. There is no excuse for dying of thirst in the upper caverns. I mean, except that you're an idiot. Do we have have I foolishly arranged? See, it's only set to prefer zone drinking, so you're allowed to drink from places that aren't water sources. So why did anyone end up dying of dehydration up here? Bah. And other such noises of disappointment at the dwarves who couldn't work out how to get water when they were on a level with a lake. I mean, some of them were admittedly stuck in spiders' webs, but like, they could have got out, I'm sure. So yes, we have. So that's a bit confusing. I should possibly just configure a water source zone up here just to encourage people. There. As long as that doesn't cause everyone to come up here and get water, which would be kind of irritating. I just spotted that there were some gems here which we could comfortably mine. Because I think we have a bit of a gem shortage. So where we actually have like gems we can easily get to. we should make them. We should actually mine them. Oh, right, yes, that's off the edge of the map, of course. So, oh, there's some more gems. Let's get them. And lots of people are going to get trapped in webs as a result of me requesting all of this mining, but they'll probably be able to get out again. Probably. Well, like at least there are other dwarves actually able to access these levels at the moment. Stoated that up terribly. Oh. Almost all of these staircases need to go higher, don't they? Lots of marking everything for mining. Well, that'll get us some gems. It's kind of tedious marking out all of this, all of these pillars. So, where were we? Yes. We're mostly saying, come along, you goblins. And being disappointed that we don't, that I have apparently not bought the birds that I thought I had. Oh, I might want to change how I'm storing food a bit as well. Yeah, we really do need more gems. What are rough gem stocks looking like? Are we just failing to cut them adequately? Okay, we need to add more. We need to add amethysts to the list of gems to cut, certainly, and probably yellow zircon, red spinel, and claro opal. Surely we should be cutting claro opal. Yes. Though it may be that the conditions are yes. So right. Yes, we generally do that. Right. So we want new order cut amethyst. Hang on, how many? Those were ones, weren't they? Yes. Okay. Let's do the same thing. New order, cut amethyst, 1, conditions, default reagent condition. I drew it as a square root sign.
I know, it's only code 2437 that wants to equivocate. But
If you want a tick, there's a perfectly good tick character in Unicode. Right, where was I? Oh yes, rough gems.
I mean, CD Dwarf doesn't all about that. He's got that. It also wants the vertical box drawing line to be an integral extension.
That does work in Bedstead.
Yeah, but right, basically that's really nasty. And it wants sharp as S to also be a beta, which is exceptionally nasty.
Right, so yellow zircon, red spinel. So that should get some more of my gems being cut. I suppose then we probably want also to add, for the same things, in crushed finished goods with amethyst, with the usual 10 conditions, reagents, set that to 20. Add encrust with yellow zircon, encrust finished goods with yellow zircon, 10 conditions, reagents, 20. Add encrust with red spinel, 10 conditions, reagents. Oh, what? Conditions, reagents, 10, 20. No, 10, 20, return. Right. So then once those start being cut, we will be able to stick them onto things. So actually the sheer quantity of amethysts we've got probably means we're fairly well off for I need to install. Oh no, I've started installing those, didn't I? Yes. So we want to get memorials to Fath Rush Rolono and Iton Nishtabar Tolis Amam.
You know, some of these names would be easier to pronounce if you remember what day it was.
True, yes, I could try that. I haven't yet made any memorials to them, so let's do those. I've forgotten the name of the other one. It was an excessively long one, wasn't it? I'm going to have to look it up again. Iton Nishtabar. Right, so they will get memorials made, which will say that they died embarrassingly of thirst. So I think I should build an emergency staircase for getting people out of the upper caverns in case of embarrassment. Like in case I end up accidentally locking the upper caverns off again. That's a good point. Okay, we already have here a floor hatch which covers what is currently the only access between upper and lower caverns. So how about we arrange to connect below that floor hatch with the rest of the world? So if we, for instance, were to connect the staircase here, pick somewhere that.
Have a better mental 3D mental picture of all this space under the mountain.
Well, I have the great advantage that I know which of up and down I'm pressing at any given time.
For a start, yes. In one of the not very good Resident Evil films, there's a giant underground facility owned by Umbrella Corporation, and someone shows a computer graphic on it as a sort of great big tentacle extending thing on the screen, and you can see all the way through it and perceive its whole shape. And I want one of those for Iridinod. Are any of the Resident Evil films not very good? There are a couple I haven't seen.
I'm trying to find a location that doesn't pass through the mines on the lower levels. This, of course, ends up landing in someone's bedroom if I go straight down there. So I probably want actually to go a little way to the side of the obvious place. See where I'd like to emerge in the caverns. Somewhere over there would be reasonable.
You know, there are various poles with accessibility, the furthest things from sea or land or whatever. Queensland pole there. What if the pole of inadvisability? That should be too. I don't think there should be.
Land war in Asia?
Make sure I don't accidentally, by digging this out, break the connection between the two layers. I think that should be safe, because it's that wall that means that this ramp works correctly. Hang on, no, that ramp won't work correctly though, if I do that. That
Concept of a 3D model of one of these fortresses. I now wonder if it would make an interesting 3D printed artifact as well. Probably too much strange support material. Some of which would be like toxic metal walls.
maybe. While we're here, of course, since this staircase goes straight through a gem cluster, let's mark it for mining. It goes quite close to that gem cluster. And that one. that one.
What's your primary use of gems? I mean, I know that your own dwarves like having gem encrusted stuff, and it keeps them happy. But I also know you export gem encrusted stuff to trade.
Yeah, it's mostly for, well, it's mostly for making my trade goods more valuable. I mean, to an extent, we don't need to do that. In part, I'm now doing it because the pipeline for getting things up to the for getting trinkets up to the surface involves make them, encrust them with gems, and then send them upstairs. And this is stalled largely on the encrust them with gems step, so that this. Hang on, where is it? This Craftstores workshop is now labelled as cluttered. That's what the CLT is, which means that it actually works a lot slower because it's so full of things that we have made but not yet done anything with. And obviously I could reconfigure things to send these straight upstairs, but I have a pipeline and I want to make the pipeline work. And that means that we need to start encrusting more things faster, which might mean that we actually need to mine some things. So mostly I think it meant that I needed to turn on cutting and encrusting things with amethyst.
Right, so while all this stuff is eventually intended for trade, currently your main purpose in mining gems is to get all the crap out of this
Workshop, yes. And like a lot of the scheduled tasks of the that I've got for this are configured not to only start when I have a reasonable quantity of the things, in part because strange moods can require gems. Oops, that wasn't the right thing. I wanted auto mine. But that does mean that like I actually have quite a lot of gems that the dwarves are not going to use, just because they're not sure whether they might need them later. And we're even somewhat limiting the rate at which we make things out of bones, in that I think the dwarves will only do one make bone crafts task per day. But nonetheless, the quantity of bone crafts in this workshop is probably a bit silly. What do I want? I want that key. Oh, what? Did I let go of the key somehow? Let's try it again. Each time I press multiply, I head north and scroll down the list of objects. That's just weird. Let me not do that. But yes, there are a few things in here. I think YouTube has been identifying this as Dwarf Fortress for a while. It maybe I've even configured it, told it that this is Dwarf Fortress. Where's my button for doing that? Stream settings. No, I don't know where the button is for configuring that now. That one. Look through the list. You can't see any of this, of course. On the. Okay, it don't seem to have. No, game title is left blank, but it is somehow working it out anyway. I mean, it's probably not very hard. It's quite easy to recognise, even if you're doing it by processing the video. Or you could like look at the fact that it says Dwarf Fortress in the. Actually, it doesn't at the moment, does it? In the playlist name, but I haven't actually added this one to the playlist.
Oh, the playlist now. I was going to say, it certainly says in the top centre of the screen.
Yes. Someone has been taken by a strange mood. That's nice. Well, let's wait for them to grab a workshop. Wow, our library has actually got some space in it. People are not sitting on top of one another.
Discuss overcrowding.
Yes. Right, you've claimed a mason's workshop. You appear, at least initially, to be able to find all the bits you want, which is good. Have we made those slabs that I wanted to install? Yes. So this is Fath Thingamys' grave. And that is on Nishtabar's grave. So that will install their memorials, which will say they embarrassingly died of thirst. So it's winter, which I think might be when the goblins turned up. Unfortunately, you can't. Yeah, well, actually, you can wait for them to run out of supplies because that's kind of what we did. But since they don't eat, it's mostly wait for them to get bored. Right, there go people taking those slabs off to be installed in the graveyard. Excellent. People keep leaving trinkets around the place. Fairly boring helmet snake bone amulet. Trash those two unwanted objects. I suppose since the damn it, I've forgotten where that sentence was going. I can't remember. We can do some more gem mining here, can't we? Fairly unlikely this is going to have going to be usefully auto-mineable, given the great big holes in the ground nearby. Not sure if it's worth going all the way around there for that just yet. I'm kind of considering more exploratory mining to see if we can get more gems.
It might be a bit confusing between Odoy and Dwarf Fortress. It's slightly confusing in places in Dwarf.
Right, so there's our connection between the
Also the text and also the monster letters.
Also what?
Also the monster letters.
No. Just text. 'Cause otherwise you'll be hopeless.
That's fine, I think.
And it doesn't purify your inventory because otherwise you can't select between all the vowels.
So where are all the rough lapis lazuli that we believe we should be able to cut, but can't? Okay, they are actually in a bin next to, or at least some of them are in a bin next to the cutting workshop, so there must just be some confusion, possibly because things keep getting put in the bins. Yeah, okay, we are successfully cutting some lapis lazuli, so that's fine. So I think we're now happily collecting a load of extra gems, which should be good for doing things. Discuss oil of vitriol. Should do something about this pond grabber. It is annoying. Wonder if we can just drop something on its head. Just spotted some more conveniently accessible gems. Because we did a bunch of rather odd cave-in based engineering around here to isolate this, which was once a lake, from this, which still is. So it's possible we could either isolate this section from the outside world, or yes, our problem was this tree, wasn't it, bizarrely, that we dumped a bunch, we caused a cave-in and the cave-in got stuck on the tree. And the tree is also over that square. But we could possibly just try arranging to drop a load of rock directly on the head of the pond grabber if it doesn't move too much. Wonder if that would be reasonable. Well, I mean, reasonable is obviously a relative term here. It wouldn't be very reasonable. It would be thoroughly silly, but I believe that it's possible to cut down trees from halfway up their trunks. So we might be able to fell that tree and then sort things out. Though it would be a bit tricky because, of course, our cave-in is a bit delicate now. Still not sure. So what's our military equipment situation looking like anyway? We managed to lose another member of the Blood Tundras. What? I thought we had plenty of metal footwear.
Ow.
So yes, our two main squads are pretty much fully equipped. Unlike, there's quite a bit of steel there as well. I am going... Oh yes, okay, you've got an iron mace, yes, the weapons are kind of randomly scattered. But our third squad is a bit short. I mean, the major reason why I wanted lots of squads is so as to get lots of people in the military, so they were less likely to be killed by the wildlife. But we've kind of we've kind of lost most of the wildlife now. So yes, Fath Rishronal died of thirst in the year 171, as did Iton Nishtabar Tolis Amem, who was the creator of Thunderstrong and the slayer of the beak dog vault blocked the pillars of quieting. And she loved bins apparently, but unfortunately she got stuck on the wrong level of the caverns and didn't think to use the lake for drinking. And so, curiously, died of thirst.
I thought it came right how a well organised fortress can have people die of thirst. And the idea that even people who are locked out of the caverns have a lake available seemed quite convincing to me. Apparently,
Yes. So people are ending up getting webbed occasionally, but I think they can usually... Like, the person who just got webbed is not stuck in the web anymore. So I think getting webbed is only, in general, a temporary problem. Just find more gems, mine more gems. One of the reasons I'm considering some proper exploratory mining in unoccupied layers is just how faffy it is. Hang on, is that actually anything useful in that square? Yes. Just how faffy it is to mine gems in the rather disjointed rocks of the caverns. You end up building several squares of staircase. Those are not helpful, we can't actually get to them. You end up building several squares of staircase just to get into a single gem cluster. Someone is lugging a Draltha corpse up or down the stairs. No, someone's left a Draltha skeleton on the stairs. Please dispose of that skeleton. Well, I suppose we could probably butcher it. We're kind of hoping that that we will one day get another lemon-soaked paper necromancer, but we don't currently have one. We still have some unoccupied bedrooms. Good. We've got plenty of space. I do think people reading in the library need like chairs and tables and such. I mean, there is one person in there who appears to be sitting at a table, albeit they don't seem to be reading anything.
I guess if you've been reading standing up for a while, you need to sit down and rest every so often.
Those seem to be some slightly hungry animals. Possibly we should set them to grazing cavern flora. Just thinking about food a bit. And indeed other stocks, like how are we off for logs? Yeah, we've got plenty of logs. We're still buying them faster than we can burn them. We have a terrifying number of prepared meals, including apparently one rotten grundle tallow roast. Well, let's discard that. So much running around doing things. What's going on in the loom? Oh, it's the farmer's workshop, sorry, and someone is spinning some random bit of hair into thread. Yes. Well, I mean, I'm sure if anyone gets injured, this will be helpful.
That thread is used for sewing people up.
Among other things, yes. Actually, possibly only for that.
Among the terrors of injury in this universe, is you might find yourself sewn back together with Dwarf products.
Yes. Right, so if I were to want to drop a cave-in on the head of this... Can anyone remember if the pond grabber's moved? I don't think it has. On the head of this pond grabber, I would do it by dropping a lump of rock from up here, wouldn't I? So how could I do that, really crudely?
More crude than the current conversational IRC.
Shush. So if we dig out through there and say there, oh dear, our charcoal production is turning out to be a rate limiting step. There's our wood furnace anyway. It does have a make charcoal job scheduled, so we're not hugely short of it. It's probably just that someone is bringing the charcoal down from somewhere ludicrously far away. Well, they're here now. I mean, we probably want to reorganise our stockpiles a bit, because we're still basically storing stuff in the stockpile we created when we first arrived. may be a bit weird. Mebble bristled paper. Are we interested in Mebble bristled paper? Are they someone we want to have as a permanent resident and thus probably eventually as a citizen? They don't appear to be one of our interesting
Well, let's crack again.
I didn't scratch the first time, but
so we can't actually find out very much about these people. Like, you know, are you going to turn out to be really good at something? All I can see is that you're a scholar. Oh, go on. I'm feeling generous today. What? How many? Oh no, only 2 new scholars. That's fine.
Only me on the spot, I think.
We melted down enough steel to make some more ballista arrows yet. We've got 2 spare ballista arrowheads, in fact. Right, well let's stick some shafts on those then.
How do dwarves make something that needs to be as straight as an arrow? Do they have it lovingly modelled lathes?
No.
To be able to woodwork it well.
Yes, I mean a carpenter's workshop presumably has some useful. Actually, the siege workshop is quite large, so maybe that's where the lathe is. But like, it turns out you can make lathes out of rock. Right, we have 3 bronze bars, so we can make another bronze ballista arrowhead. Let's do that. Yes, that's blatantly a locking conflict from the in the rough amethysts area, because I'm pretty sure we have a decent stock of. We've got 91 rough amethysts in stock at the moment. We should add morions to the list of gems that we know how to process. Sorry, add reagent. Right, so we will now start encrusting things with morions, as well as all the other kinds of gem we can encrust things with.
what kind of gems are morions?
I don't know.
Okay.
They're grey in the game. I'm sure Wikipedia will tell you more and show you pictures.
How it's spelled? More.
Morion.
So like more. Right. Okay.
Maybe I need to build a second wood furnace. Oh, I've just noticed our moody dwarf is short of something. Stone, surely not. Stacked cloth, maybe. Rough gems, surely not. Stacked leather, I don't think so. Cut gems, we've got plenty. Skeletons, we've got plenty. Cut gems, we've got plenty. Skeletons, stone. So do you have weird cloth requirements, sir? Let's see what you've currently got in your things. So you've currently got 2 units of stone and are stuck on the thing after stone. I think that's cloth, but I'll check. Stone, stone, cloth. Rough gems, right. Okay, what's our cloth situation like? If you could be more specific, that would be lovely, but we have wool cloth and we have plant cloth. We have no silk cloth. Right. Let us we don't silk is not something we have a shortage of, happily. Because there's a lot of that in the caverns. Actually, can I specify what kind of silk I want to use? Excellent. You got any giant? Okay, no, we apparently only have ordinary cave spider silk. Yes, I have no idea. Presumably we can somehow find flashing sparks and attempt to weave them into cloth. Maybe we can get them if we dig deep enough. So hopefully now a weaver will turn up and start weaving us some suitable silk cloth for our dwarf experiencing a strange mood.
The flashing sparks apparently are a form of divine fabric.
Ah, right then.
As is flickering cloth, which was also...
Yes. Well, right there, our moody dwarf has grabbed some slightly less divine fabric and now seems to be happily collecting gems and leather and other gems and an enormous pile of bones apparently and more gems and more bones. And has begun a mysterious construction. So I'm slightly surprised that we don't have 15 tons of silk thread. It immediately cancelled all the remaining thread weaving jobs, and I'm slightly confused by that. Oh well, one of them got made and that's enough.
Maybe there was a race condition involved
It's possible, yes. Right, so about this dropping tons of rock on the head of an unfortunate pond crabber, how are we doing there? Oh, hang on, we can't even remotely get up there, can we, without a lot of extra digging? Oh, well, let's do the extra digging. We didn't quite manage to drop that rock on the pond grabber's head, but that wasn't really the intention anyway. My intention is that we drop this 3x2 lump of rock in the vicinity of the pond grabber. Well, I mean, hopefully through the pond grabber.
So I missed the start of this. The pond grabber is apparently quite a small creature. Didn't need a 3x2 slab of...
In case it moves. A diorite floodgate.
heirloom float.
Well, yes. I mean, it's probably, given what went into it, it's probably quite some floodgate. It's encrusted with baguette-cut morions and rose-cut red spinels, decorated with nautilus leather, encircled with bands of cushioned diorite cabochons and round amethyst cabochons. It menaces with spikes of diorite, cave spider silk, and draltha bone. On the item is an image of dwarves in beak-dog bone. The dwarves are labouring. The artwork relates to the foundation of Rhythmgates by the Page of Passions of the Rock of Fortune in the early spring of 165. So, yes, it is quite a good floodgate.
Nautiluses give rise to leather.
Apparently so. They presumably have skin. You can tan it. They have some kind of membranes anyway. I presume that, like, the gems and such are on the faces of the floodgate, so they don't, like, get in the way too much. Oops. confused. Yes, I am. Hooray for dwarves not falling down holes.
Did you take the guy to the Empire's approach to safety buildings?
Well, it's more that if you that they have a habit of digging holes underneath themselves, and so, well, not usually underneath themselves, often underneath their friends. It's not so bad as long as one dwarf does all the work, because they're usually not foolish enough as to drop themselves down pits into the water.
I can take this forward to no trouble.
Yeah.
So, boredom.
See, that dwarf there
What happens to you?
dug out a square while standing on a square that was scheduled for digging out in its own right, but they moved before the other dwarf came along to dig out the square that they were standing on, so they survived. I mean, we've done pretty well so far this game. We killed no one in the cave-in activities. In the previous batch of cave-in activity. I'm being slightly more relaxed about it this time, which may be a bit brave, but... Also slightly worried that something is going to get hung up on that bit of tree there. That is open space there. There is an enormous pile of stuff in there. I think that'll be fine. Well, we'll find out. There's a small possibility that my carefully contrived cave-in will not actually cave in.
That seems like a less bad failure mode than caving in 3/4 of the cabin that you don't want caved in.
Oh, it turns out that we can't actually dig that square away because there's a gaping hole there. Okay, that hasn't collapsed. Not quite sure what's supporting that now, though. Let me explore a bit. So we've got open space all the way around that 3x2 block there. There is that 3x2 block. And I think... Okay, and that is still solid floor. Even though that's open space. Let's temporarily unmark that. Check the pond grabber is still in position. Let's install the floor I thought was there. Using some nearby lumps of diorite. So, right. So, I'm not quite sure what's supporting that lump of stone there. I'm slightly worried that it might turn out to be the tree. We may actually have to separate this lump of rock from the tree. But so I'm going to put in some new floor, filling in some gaps, so I feel slightly more confident digging out, and indeed I'm physically able to get someone to dig out the existing floor, and then we'll see what happens. And it's possible that my lump of suspended rock will stay suspended, stuck on a tree.
Do you realise when you say that you're digging out the floor, I just keep thinking of that robot in Hitchhiker?
Yes.
Good, right, just checking.
So I hope that they will now end up digging this from a sensible side, simply because there isn't much access to the stupid side. And then the question is whether the cave-in will actually occur, or whether I will have the embarrassment of having to cut a tree down in order to get the cave-in to happen properly. So let's watch. Well, that one was safe. It was apparently left behind a pick and taken away some trinket. Is anyone else going to come along? Come on. I mean, it's kind of, the tree is only diagonally adjacent to this. Hang on, what's going on here? Am I a complete idiot? I don't think I am. No, that column aside from the tree is unconnected, so it should be okay. Right, okay, I reckon that tree, this tree here, is what is supporting that large lump of rock that is currently busy not killing the pond crabber. I don't know, we could try. I mean, this is going to be slightly tricky because we have to get to the tree.
Squawk.
Thank you. No, thank you. So we have to be able to get to this tree, and yet, I mean, I think if we approach from... So the pond crabber's over on this side, here. So if we can approach from this side, it might be all right. The question is whether we can get through the twigs to get to the trunk. But I suppose there's only one way to find out. So we can dig through to there. And then build a floor out over the, in theory, a bridge. Oh goodness, it's a limestone forgotten beast. Right. Towering quadruped composed of limestone. Claire would like tea. No, I'm a limestone cow. It has a knobby trunk and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its hunger for warm blood. Right.
How does it digest warm blood if it's made of limestone?
I would worry that the warm blood might digest it. Right.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's how limestone things stay flexible.
Right then. Let us... well, we've already got the kitten in place for this. Let us summon everyone back in from the caverns. It's quite fast. There it is. You're not going to have much time before I close the front door. Let's set someone unlocking the trap, just in case we can distract it. Because that dwarf is otherwise going to be in serious trouble. I think that dwarf's in serious trouble anyway. because I suppose I could close things in a carefully controlled order. Oh, what? Careful, Ben, careful. So we could lock that floor hatch to stop the Forgotten Beast coming up through that one, and we could lock that one as well. I'm pretty confident it can't get up through the other two yet. Let's be brave. It is made of limestone. Don't want to get this inside the fort, but would quite like that poor dwarf to survive. Well, let's lock that floor hatch. Or we could be... No, let's not try to be clever. Oh dear. You jumped away, you fool. You jumped away from the access to the cavern. To the fortress. Right, now we need to lock the floor hatch that's directly above the Forgotten Beast. We can unlock the other three, I think.
I posted this picture because I put some combining together these things apart from the zoo. And that really reminded me of the sculpture. And so I said, I wrote down on him because I'm the commander. And I got to him because I am really a single job. I wrote down to him because he cannot fly retroducts. I'm in place. I look for a man, being a fisherman. I know my place. It's true. I know my place.
Come on. You're now closer to the stairs than the
Other stairs.
than the Forgotten Beast is.
I see.
How about you go up them rather than dodging the Forgotten Beast? That's not good. Admittedly, another dwarf is on their way in, and apparently a scholar is trying to leave. Yes.
Some crops and expansions we haven't got. There are many crops and expansions. It menaces with clogs.
So, yes. I'm not going to ask the militia captain to try to kill the Forgotten Beast. What are you doing? Why are you outside the fortress? I'm fairly sure there are rules against this.
Tea's ready.
Right, notice how the Knot Caverns burrow does not include the square you are standing on.
Not many vowels in that, Simon.
Shattering the middle spine's bone through the copper mail shirt. That wasn't good. Well, one dwarf has done the sensible thing and gone indoors. I mean, this militia captain is surviving surprisingly well. I'm going to keep this door unlocked for a while because we've got 2 more dwarves coming in from the southeast, even if one idiot dwarf is trying to leave through the door. Militia captain is now airborne. Whee! Thud. Oh! The Forgotten Beast stabs the militia captain in the left hand, tearing the fat through the copper left gauntlet. Dwarf blood is sucked out of the wound.
It's tidy, I suppose.
Yes, yes, it will save someone having to mop it up. The gauntlet does look rather the worse for wear now. Yes, oh, the copper gauntlet is broken. The left gauntlet, which has already had blood sucked through it. Yes, it presumably has some kind of a thing that it... proboscis that it uses to get the blood out of the unhappy dwarf. Now the woodcutter is dodging it as well. And our carpenter is still pissing around outside the stairs. Right, thank you. Carpenter has got up the stairs. Woodcutter is... Forgotten Beast has now got distracted by an unarmoured woodcutter who was trying to bring back some gems. And may yet successfully distract the Forgotten Beast from... other dwarves. Still don't know what this carpenter's playing at, mind. What are you doing? Looks like the militia captain, though, may have survived. The Forgotten Beast is... Yeah, that carpenter is... that woodcutter is not in the best state. Dodged a bit, but then got some bruises and then got kicked in the neck with... Right, smashing the poor woodcutter's neck into an unrecognisable mass, which caused them to lose hold of everything because they couldn't move anything. And yeah, you're not going to live from it. You're not going to survive this. Right, so the woodcutter is dead, but several other dwarves have made it inside while the Forgotten Beast was distracted. So this is actually going fairly well. I'm not going to lock the front door just yet. I think the Forgotten Beast is busy drinking the remaining blood. Our militia captain really should notice that he's quite badly wounded and should probably get some medical attention. Right, another dwarf has made it home safely. Is there anyone else out here? Apparently there is.
Is someone on the run on the land? Yes. I guessed that one.
Right, well, you're a long way away from home, aren't you? Okay, we won't lock the front door just yet. We will lock the front door very shortly, though. Right, so there's no one else within spitting distance of the entrance, so I'm afraid for now we lock the front door. Oh, the Forgotten Beast has found the kitten. I think I need to...
That's for a game.
I think I'd better make sure I lock the access between the kitten's room and the fortress before either the kitten or the Forgotten Beast comes up through it. So it would be very embarrassing. Now what we actually want to do is to pull that lever if we can. Where's our web spinner gone? You're meant to be throwing webs through the wall at this Forgotten Beast and its cage trap. It's got out, chasing the kitten with it. I suppose that probably means we do want to close the outer door because we need to provide a fresh kitten. There goes the kitten. Right, fresh kitten. Oh dear, unfortunate dwarf on the wrong side of the front door. Well, you might live, so just in case you do, I'm going to do what I did for the last ones. I mean, are you a miner? No, I don't think you are. You're an engraver. Yes, please do. Preferably withdraw in the direction of the stairs. Oh dear, that was messy. No, don't go that way. That's going to be embarrassing. Yes, that way would be good. Not that way. Really not that way. Let them allow people to actually replenish the kitten dispenser. Not really dispenser. Obviously, we should have an automatic kitten dispenser that provides new kittens as necessary. You really don't want to be over there. Come on, try to get to the front door, back door, bottom door. whatever. Also, my dear humanoid web spinner thingamy, give me some webs. Oh, we have a spare. I mean, a miner ought to be the right person to be attacking a limestone forgotten beast. That was a blood stain, wasn't it? Forgotten beast stabs the engraver in the right foot, tearing the muscle through the steel low boot. Miner is sensibly taking a different route. Yes, you must. Right, someone is bringing in the next kitten. Our web spinner has got closer to the right place. So we can now lock this floor hatch again and pull the lever that would connect that to the caverns. Now, if you could just find your way to the stairs, that would be lovely. Oh dear, you've exploded the engraver's left hand and left wrist.
Seems like a waste. Don't go in the blood fountain, right?
There does seem to be quite a lot of blood around. Oh dear, the engraver's dead. Right. But there are two more people trying to head into the fortress, including a distracted human spearman who is trying to get a drink. Yes, basically smash the poor engraver's head in. Let's see whether either of those two can make it in. Yes, well done, you spotted the dead kitten.
I think now you're going to tell me that Dwarf Fortress models it being in a superposition of states before that event.
Well, insofar as it, after a week of no one seeing it, gets marked as missing rather than dead. Yes. So that's another dwarf inside the fortress. This human, are they Neddle Shamarotokri? Are they an other or a... Have we actually managed to end up with a... human citizen? Are they listed as human spearman? No, because the military aren't active at the moment. Well, I can't see any human spearmen in this list. Oh, there they are, right. So what's your relationship with my fortress? Yes, apparently so. Yes, not a citizen of the fortress anyway. Does appear to be heading back to the front door and has made it in. Just spotted another incoming dwarf. Oh,
I thought it was a fruit would have to got a fruit from somewhere.
right, time to lock the doors.
I thought they all had habits.
Sorry to the dwarves who are still outside.
When I was drinking it, I'm going quite stoneberry. So for people like drinking quite a few anagrams of my book, the girl.
I still mushroom if I had to, but I don't use them for that. Which could be
Right, happily the Forgotten Beast has got hugely distracted by a cat, and it looks like a cat can actually outpace this Forgotten Beast. So if we're lucky, that will allow a few more... Oh, the cat's turned round and come back. That might allow another dwarf to get in. Where's the Forgotten Beast got to? It's all the way up there. I think it's lost sight of the cat and isn't quite sure where to go next. Right, one more dwarf inside. Good. I think this Forgotten Beast has acceleration in that it seemed to get faster and faster as it was running in a straight line there. Probably being made out of several tons of limestone helps with that. Right, lock the doors again.
In the course of a single charge. It's
Yes.
not like powering itself up by usually drinking water.
No, I think it was just charging southwards. Right, I've locked the doors again. I hope. I haven't made a pig's ear of that. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Right. Looks like it's now heading for the trap again, though the web spinner has failed to provide any webs. Look, it's right next to the window. Come and squirt some webs at it. Alternatively, it would be lovely if someone were to pull this lever. I've tried. No, it's left again. There's a monster slayer out there. Well,
I'm not sure I'd advise it.
no, the last Forgotten Beast fell to a monster slayer.
This one seems quite vicious.
This one has got through several members of the fortress, yes. Meanwhile, let's temporarily unlock the doors again, in the hopes that just in case there's someone else out there in the caverns. So that was the previous forgot. This is the person. This is the monster slayer who did kill the previous Forgotten Beast. So is the first person to actually try attacking this forgotten beast. What are you equipped with anyway? Warhammer, shield, steel armour, at least some of it. Yeah, you might do all right. Managed to fracture one of the beast's legs. Ooh, that looks messy. Now, kicking a limestone forgotten beast is not... You've fractured its neck. Well done.
My God, what was his boots made of?
No, this was the forgotten... He hammered it with his bismuth bronze warhammer in the neck.
Ah,
Kicked it in the left rear leg with his left foot, but the attack glanced away because, well, kicking a limestone forgotten beast is not going to be very effective.
yeah, you don't start kick one and stub your toe on it.
Then, unfortunately, the forgotten beast kicks the hammer dwarf in the fourth toe left foot, tearing apart the skin. The force pulls the left foot and the severed part sails off in an arc. Not really severed, but still. Hammer dwarf loses hold of bronze high boot, sheep wool sock. The hammer dwarf falls over. Which will at least distract the forgotten beast for a little while. No, don't punch it, you stoat. You've got a hammer. That's better. You fractured another one of its limbs. I mean, I don't quite know what it's going to take, but... Yes, life is fleeting if you're the kind of person who goes after forgotten beasts single-handed. My opinion on monster slayers is they get what they deserve, which is mostly death. Well, I think you're probably quite glad to have that steel breastplate. Yes, the forgotten beast is only slightly wounded. The airborne hammer dwarf has collided with the wall and the forgotten beast was coming up behind. Ooh, nasty. Yeah. Probably not much coming back from that. Meanwhile, fresh kitten. If we've got any kittens left. We run out of kittens. Oh dear, we've run out of kittens. Oh no, there's that one. Oh, that one's still alive, but he's now somewhere out in the caverns. It might come back. Okay, resort to piglets then. You've successfully bruised the hammer dwarf's spleen. Well done. Yeah, I think our hammer dwarf is a little weak now. Oh dear. Yes, well, dead hammer dwarf. I haven't seen any other dwarves out here for a while. Except for one who's just come out of the front door. What are you doing? Don't go...
Get the memo.
You've decided to store an item in a bin. Why?
Because
Why?
it was there.
I'm going to have to leave the front door open for a bit longer. So maybe not for very long.
Good night, all.
Okay, the hunter is now fleeing up the emergency stairs. Or possibly just going up there to find a gem to put in a bin. Has now decided not to store an item in the bin because they can't reach the bin, and is now being pursued by a forgotten beast. I think the thing to do now is to unlock the doors again so that that hunter at least knows how to get back inside. Make sure it's actually possible to install the piglet. Okay, oh dear. Right, I think our poor hunter is about to drown. They may be able to crawl out of the water there. They just got kicked off from up here where they were collecting the... they kicked or did they dodge? They got charged at by the Forgotten Beast, which knocked them off this cliff here, and they have plummeted down into the water. And hence are now particularly unhappy because they probably can't swim. They're a dabbling swimmer now. She's a dabbling swimmer now, having been hurled into the water. I mean, she is at the edge of the water, so... But, you know, the shock of falling into it may... Oh no, look, alive! Has hauled itself out of the water. Front door, the back door is open. I would strongly recommend you not carry on trying to hunt. But unfortunately, the Forgotten Beast has to turn a corner here. It might find that a bit difficult. I think it's lost sight of you. Well done, you've made it back into the fortress. I think there are currently no live dwarves in the caverns, I think. Right, we've installed a new... Well, we've managed to get the kitten back, in fact. Okay, where's the Forgotten Beast gone? No, not that one. Alright, it's going back up those stairs. It suggests there might be a dwarf alive up them. Alright, there's another monster slayer. Well, monster slayers get whatever they deserve, really. We'll try to tempt the Forgotten Beast into the trap. It's currently going after that monster slayer, I think. Oh no, it's come back down again. Can't swim very well. Let's just check that I have correctly locked the doors. Locked, 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 locked. Locked. Let's preemptively pull this lever, since the webbing system seems to be a bit unreliable at the moment. Someone is assigned to pull the lever at least. No, too late. Where are you going now? What have you found? Oh, there's a live... Hang on. Someone out here. Can't see the highlight. Alright, is it that person there? Who happens to be the nearest? Yes, okay. I can't find anyone in this direction. Where are you going? You're heading back upstairs. Right, well let's do the usual thing of installing another creature in there. I think there's still a piglet pending. Yeah, so we don't actually need to activate this. Presume now you're going after our remaining monster slayer. Yes. Pike, not really the weapon for this. Right, well, that wasn't good for the poor pike man. There we go, dead pike man. You haven't even got the piglet in place yet. See, it's still on its way. Right, piglet installed. Forgotten Beast is charging down the stairs. Right, I'm going to ask to pull the lever now. mean, for the first Forgotten Beast, we actually locked someone in with the lever. This time we're kind of hoping that... Stoats! That was slightly too early. Forgotten Beast seems to like swimming. Yes, I wonder if pond grammars do have warm blood. Hang on, let me check. Pond grabber. Roars. Yes, pond grammars are warm-blooded. Right, well, we've managed to trap it in the cage room, even if it's not yet caged. So I think now we hope that it eventually interacts with its neighbour to the extent of managing to get cage trapped. So we can let everyone out into the caverns. Probably make a few more coffins. Actually, let's just do those 8 for now. Everyone suddenly pours out into the caverns again. Yes, we've got a pond grabber to squish, haven't we? Doesn't look like there's... I was wondering if there was any forbidden items we needed to collect, but... Wow, everyone has poured out into the caverns. So Domas, Matlicot and Saxel thought it out. Yeah, that one. Need... that one, yes. We know that they both have drains already. Drains? Graves already. So about that cave in. We were trying to work out whether we could cut down this tree, weren't we? Yes, that was the thing. So what do we have here now? We have solid floor out to there, and then twiggy bits. And the trunk is there. So we can mark, if we mark the entire area for wood cutting, the trunk gets marked. So we can build a bridge out to there. So let's unmark the trunk, because we don't want someone climbing into the tree to do this. And instead see if we can build a small retracting bridge here that will provide access to the tree. And that should be fairly safe, because anyone cutting the tree down will be doing it from here and will thus be on the far side from the cave in. But yeah, maybe we should not be wholly cavalier about this. Let's reattach the pending cave in to its neighbouring rock. Randomly forbidden diorite, yes, let's unforbid that, so that the next time I need some rock it doesn't have to be pulled in from quite so far away. Nice. So one who's not quite called Mastrop Rodhull and Emu, but he's close, and Sarvesh Babokison also need memorials. You. Meanwhile, the first two have memorials, so let's or rather have slabs available. So let's install them in the correct places. Domas Matlicot. And Tortithamath. That's you, isn't it? bridge is being constructed. Oh. What? Could not find path. Does it need more access to it for some reason? I mean, it looks pretty close to being... Okay, we're out. We need to actually finish carving more slabs out of rock. We should dispose of those kitten corpses. No one wants a kitten corpse, apparently. Struck down by the forgotten beast Uge Ghoul belches the riddled teeth in the rampage of the said forgotten beast in Rhythmgates in the year 171, sadly. We've made at least one slab, so now I can engrave that slab. I can find the person who wants one. Out there. Okay, so it appears that we can't quite build this bridge in its current state. I wonder why not. Maybe we need to construct a floor next to it or something. Or maybe it's just problematic because there's a tree in the way. Okay, we'll build you some enormous corkscrews. Excuse me, I've lost the fortress. There it is. Well, we have a new stock of kittens at least. Right, now that we've built a floor all the way along one side of this bridge, someone can finish building it. If that doesn't work, then we'll just replace it with a floor. Right. It's a bronze colossus, everyone. I don't know that I've ever met a bronze colossus in this, but they're quite famous for being terrifying. So that's outside, though. That's coming in over the mountains. There's a large rat getting into a fight with one of our dogs. So probably means we want to lock the front door, and like if we have to, we can try to hope that it will come in and enjoy our ballista-based hospitality. That's what I'm hoping, yes. I'm also hoping it won't reach the front door before we can lock the front door. Right, front door locked. So, we should probably actually pay attention to whether we have any other doors that need locking, I now think. Right, that door is locked. That door is locked. This door is currently locked, but these doors are open. Actually, like, silly question, yes, those are connected to a lever somewhere. So I think we feel brave and let the bronze colossus into the ballista alley. Oh, it's getting into a fight with our visiting sunless zombies. Oh, poor sunless zombies, they're not going to survive this. Because it's a bronze sodding colossus. I mean, they took some killing. But fundamentally, when you're a fleshy creature whose only power is to cause someone to pause briefly, so the exits from the ballista alley are temporarily sealed, just to be on the safe side. Someone will come along to open the entrance in a moment. Meanwhile, let's stop anyone trying to use that catapult. They should be upstairs firing the ballistae. Come along, come and pull the lever. Someone quite slow moving is coming to pull the lever. But the lever has now been pulled. And the entrance is open. So will the bronze colossus take the bait? Or the sunless zombies have left behind perfectly ordinary human corpses? Here comes the bronze colossus, maybe. There's a lovely door for you to knock down. Come on, knock the door down, go on. I mean, I can open the gate, the things behind the doors, if it will tempt you in. We could even stick a kitten in the ballista alley, but there will be the slight problem that it will, like, get minced by the ballista. Okay, let's try unlocking the exit from the ballista area. Right, so now if you can knock down that door, you get into the fortress. Isn't that exciting? Ah, maybe you think it is exciting. Or maybe you don't. Oh, come on. It's got all these arrows going back and forth. This is a problem with fulfilling the mayor's mandates. They go and ask for more things. So, okay, we'll make another 2 enormous wooden corkscrews. We're putting them in your bedroom, though. Looks like the bronze colossus is not tempted by the fact that there's a door here it can knock down. If it doesn't move soon, I shall try providing a kitten. Oh, it's moved. Where's it gone? No, it's just exploring some of the other ways it can't get in. Yes, giant, enormous corkscrews are useful for making screw pumps and for making traps. So I will probably construct a weapon trap in the mayor's chambers with all these spare corkscrews. No, much too big for actually removing corks. Right, okay, yes, that's why you're up there. You found a scholar. I see. Oh yes, we could see what's going on with the pond grabber, couldn't we? How's that diorite bridge doing? It's still suspended. Did I unsuspend it? I think I did. Let's unsuspend it again, because I'm not sure. Right, meanwhile, since the Bronze Colossus is distracted anyway, let us look at that, 2 in-flight arrows in the same direction simultaneously. Yeah, okay, I think we may be getting to some fairly terrifying dwarves, siege operators here. Right, so yes, my plan now is that we she's only had 2 kittens. Right, but we stick a kitten behind this door. How did you do that? I mean, I'm fairly sure you're... Yes, up there. Maybe you're remembering that event. So now someone is bringing a kitten up to act as a temptation. Not that cat. That cat is just passing. Oh, has our new... Right, our limestone quadruped has managed to get itself into a cage. Excellent. Bronze Colossus appears to be confused, given that there's a scholar a few squares away. Oh, there it goes again. I mean, the scholars are doing pretty well at dodging the Bronze Colossus up on the hillside. So meanwhile, we have now down here somewhere a forgotten beast cage. So we can pull that lever to shut the web spinning forgotten beast in its back into its room. Right, that kitten has now been provided. So let's seal the kitten in. Like that. Ah, right, we now got item blocking sight, so I think there is some problem with building a bridge through a tree. Right, in that case, unless it's that there's that weird lump of rock there. Oh, there's some forbidden diorite in the way, maybe that's the problem. Yes, we're doing pretty well at collecting forgotten beasts now. I mean, one of them died recently because it was actually so soft that a monster hunter could get to it. And we are suffering a bit of death to forgotten beasts, like we lost 4 dwarves to that last one. But mostly it's working quite well. So yes, if we remove those 2 bits of forbidden diorite from that bridge, that should help matters, and then maybe it will be constructible. Right. So the kitten. Let's unlock that door. But mark it as not passable by pets, so the kitten doesn't try to walk out into the ballista alley. And then see where the bronze colossus is. Well, that looks like a dead scholar. I mean, they've left us their books, so that's nice. I'll unforbid their equipment because someone will come up and pick it up once they're allowed out of the front door. There may be a slight problem that the continuous influx of scholars will keep this bronze colossus busy for a while. And they may not actually bother coming after the kitten because there are so many scholars around. Admittedly, large, non-meltable clothing is not really worth keeping, but... Oh, good suggestion, Jacob. Yes, I should temporarily... Oh, it's a necromancer. That's amusing. We'll watch that in a moment. It might be worth, as you suggest, temporarily declaring the library closed to visitors. I mean, that might have the problem of causing everyone to try to leave, but since they won't physically be able to leave, that should be safe. While we're down here, is that bridge built yet? No, it's got suspended again. Why did it get suspended this time? Item blocking site. Didn't I just unforbid those? Maybe I forgot to unsuspend the construction. Let's unsuspend it again and then check again in a moment. No, they won't leave through the ballista alley because the ballista alley is only connected to the rest of the fortress through this door, which is admittedly unlocked at the moment, and these 2 drawbridges, which are currently raised in order to prevent the kitten escaping. So they can't attempt to leave that way. They could, in theory, leave through the caverns, but that's not actually very dangerous at the moment. There's only a pond grabber down there. Well, I hope we didn't want the Baron Consort of Channel Thingamys. Channel Secret. Probably didn't. And there is a Scholar Necromancer up there, which leads to interesting possibilities, yes. So the Bronze Colossus attempted to attack the Dwarf Scholar Necromancer, who of course immediately raised a nearby corpse from the dead, raised the recently deceased Baron Consort of Channel Secret. And appears to have been repeatedly raising them from the dead, presumably as the Baron Consort got repeatedly killed. So, raised from the dead, punched the Bronze Colossus, got punched in the head, tearing apart the brain. Raised from the dead again. Punched the Bronze Colossus several times. Got punched in the left arm, which was apparently enough to kill him. Got raised from the dead again. Got bruised in the stomach, which was apparently fatal. Raised again. And again. Presumably he doesn't actually have a brain now. And again. And again. He's currently not alive because the necromancer has got distracted. What is Amethyst then? Artifact copper short sword that they've brought with them. Well, we'll be having that probably. Right, I think you're doomed. Yes. You have passed out due to pain. And you're only surviving because the Bronze Colossus thinks that an alpaca wool cloak is a sensible weapon. But if you're a Bronze Colossus, even an alpaca wool cloak will kill people. You can be used to kill people eventually. There's another scholar. Fleeing scholar. The Bronze Colossus seems to like this little alcove in the hills. The scholars are still turning up. Anyway, let's see how things are going downstairs, because we don't need to spend all our time watching this bronze colossus. So in particular, that's now closed, so we can put our third forgotten beast in the zoo. Oh, do I need to? I need to unlock the room it's in first, don't I? There. Right, we probably also now have a suitable memorial for that one. And down here, that bridge is now built, which I think means it should be safe, or at least relatively safe, for someone to try to cut this tree down. I'm slightly nervous about this, but I think the bridge wasn't cancelled. I'll just check that I'm not an idiot. Though the fact that someone thinks they can fell the tree is kind of a suggestion that it wasn't cancelled. Yep, the bridge is actually there now. And so, no, don't stand there. Please don't stand there. If you stand there, you're in the tree. You will fall out of the tree. Right, okay, we do actually appear to have to make some effort to ensure that the dwarves are not idiots. Surprise, surprise. The bridge was in the wrong place, because it turns out if the dwarves can climb into the tree in order to cut the tree down, they will. Yes, but they're a tree surgeon, but working without any ropes or anything above some deep water while probably being unable to swim. A novice swimmer, but rusty at it. Novice, it may be enough to survive falling in the water. We appear to have a fairly tough, or at least good at dodging scholar up there. Leaving a trail of blood across the snow. The blood has now been covered up with more snow. I think that scholar was deliberately going after that forgotten beast. Not forgotten beast, bronze colossus. some kind of a standoff there. Yes, the scholars are turning out to be fun. My hope is that we'll run out of scholars eventually. Yeah, the trading ban I'll pay attention to if we ever get any more traders. Which is going to require disposing of this bronze colossus one way or another. It's probably going to require disposing of the excess of scholars. I mean, it looks like there are still several on the surface, including one death zombie. This does seem to be a pretty good... This scholar seems to be pretty good at dodging mind. I mean, they've well, not lost, but had seriously damaged one hand, but are still running away from this bronze colossus quite effectively. And they've never successfully hurt the bronze colossus. Oh, no, hang on, no, that was just a combat log entry saying escapes. Stoats. Right, meanwhile, we'll just leave that to happen above us. Let's have another go at felling this tree. Right, now you're doing it from the same square, but there's a floor in that square. Though now I come to think of it, I'm not quite sure what's supporting that floor. Sorry, please don't cut the tree down just yet. I'm not sure the floor you're standing on is actually supported by anything. Because I think it may only be supported by that bridge, and I can't remember if you can support things with bridges. Sorry. I'm trying not to drown anyone while doing this. Right, I think no, that was actually a different scholar. The terrifying dodging scholar is still successfully dodging. Yeah, the pond grabber's still there. Well, they're kind of ambush predators, so... Is there a forbidden item there? Yes. There's a forbidden cat popper remains. Right. Unsuspend. Right. Now I'm confident that not only is there a floor from which you can cut the tree down... It's also a floor that's supported by something other than the tree. So... Oh, I thought you were coming in to cut the tree down. You just cleared off with with a random object that the previous woodcutter left behind. Okay. Good night, Eek. What are you doing? You've decided there's an object. Well, I hope it's not stuck in the tree. Good. Okay, there goes the tree. Oh dear. 2 dwarves have fallen in the water. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. How did that happen? All of the floor appears to have collapsed. Right, well that was unfortunate. The bridge is still there. Interesting. But the floor is not. Okay, that didn't work quite how I was expecting. And now the pond grabber's coming after them. There aren't many ways out of this water. Well, we've got the tree out of the way. Oh, our dwarf almost made it out of the water. Right, he's made it to that square, which is right on the edge of the water, but not close enough. Sadly, the other dwarf is kind of stuck and is probably has just drowned. Right. Pond Grabber is now wandering around, which is not very helpful. Well, let's see how the how things are going upstairs. Most of the scholars have now been killed, which is helpful, maybe. Bronze Colossus is chasing what may be the final scholar. Said scholar took quite a bit of killing, but right, there is now no one in the unit list above the Bronze Colossus, which suggests that the Bronze Colossus is the last creature left alive out on the surface. So my kind of hope is that now the Bronze Colossus will actually attempt to get into the fortress. And like there is a way in. I'll just check. So like all it has to do is come down here, down that ramp, in through here, over that lowered bridge, along here, down here, along here, through that unlocked door, and there's a dead kitten. God damn it, how did the kitten die? Kittens can't starve. I think the Bronze Colossus came in and killed the cat while I wasn't looking. Yes. It managed to get past the ballista arrows, kill the cat, and get back out again. And seems to have successfully not been shot at all in the process. Yes, right. Let's just quickly lock that door. and stick another kitten in there. I mean, I'm quite impressed at it managing to successfully dodge all of the arrows, but it is quite fast. Anyway, we need to do something about the fact that the pond grabber's still alive, and we now have 2 corpses we would like to extract. Where's the pond grabber got to then? Right, I think what I'm going to do is remove that bridge. And then make another attempt at walling off the that section of lake from everything else. Right, new kitten is in place. The door is currently locked, which will mean that the bronze colossus will at least have to knock it down. Someone else is having a strange mood and has claimed a craft Dwarf's workshop and is busy collecting items. Yes, the old stray kitten has been found dead, unsurprisingly. So someone should soon open the entrance to the ballista area. There. So let's watch the bronze colossus and see if it comes in and says hello to our new kitten. Oh, have I not unlocked the door? Yes, I would hope that it would. Since it can destroy doors, you might hope that I wouldn't need to lock the door, but unlock the door. But let's give it the easy. Since last time the door was, I think, unlocked. Right, it definitely seems to be trying to come in. So let us slightly preemptively pull the lever that would lock it in if everything works correctly. When it gets close to the door, say here, I shall nominally lock the door and see what it does now. Right, so now I think it's trying to knock the door down. Right, what happened there then? So a copper ballista arrow doesn't cause it very much harm. It is now locked in. We have a few iron ballista arrows, yes. If necessary, I can start forbidding all of the copper ones. We'll eventually succeed in knocking that door down. Right, since copper arrows appear to be essentially ineffective, let's try forbidding all of the copper arrows. So essentially mandating the use of iron, bronze, iron or steel ones. Meanwhile, have we melted enough stuff to be able to make more? Oh, we can make another iron and another bronze arrow. Let's do that. So it may take a little while for our siege operators to sort out some iron arrows. You're taking that to the other end, you very sensible person. Well, I suppose that's actually safe now, yes. We've locked the... Bronze Colossus in. I think it has a poison breath attack or something, but like we're going to keep well away from its actual body. Right, mysterious construction underway. Built entirely of granite. Well, that one's not going to be very valuable then, is it? Okay. Well, I have no idea how we're going to deal with that. Yes, I think the monsters are being tempted by our great wealth. So we haven't actually managed to unlock the door for the migrant. I mean, I don't want to lock the migrant out, but on the other hand, we don't have nearly so much control over timing of things there as we do upstairs. Right. So, meanwhile, let's set to work on a new cave in. Because what I'd really like to do is to drop a cave in across here where the tree used to be. And I think we can do that. With a bit of care. By separating that patch there, that lump of rock there, from its various supports. So we're currently trying. I don't know what to do about this immigrant. There's only one immigrant. But I'm really reluctant to unlock the front door. Quickly looking up whether rocks are building destroyers, but I think they are. It looks like rocks may not be building destroyers. So, possibly we can be a little bit cleverer. In that it would be safe, for instance, to let our new visitor in through the mortal coil. Oh, which doesn't have a door at the end anymore because the last invaders knocked the door down. But that's okay, we can install a door. I mean, I suspect the rock will get them first, but actually maybe it would be quicker to install the door here. No good reason not to have a door there. I expect that our unfortunate visitor will... Okay, what have you... You loaded that with a bronze arrow and then got distracted. Is someone going to come along and... No, actually, please don't pull that lever. Not till we've got that door in place. What are you doing? You're drinking in the wrong place. Oh, right. Our rock has taken out our immigrant. I mean, I'll still put the door in, but... Oh, I think the immigrants are still arriving. Well, we'll continue trying to set things up for them, but I think we may just need to make more coffins. No, not armour stands. Oh, it's P for making a coffin, isn't it? I think our legendary siege operator, is now going to fire a bronze arrow at the bronze colossus. This will probably not be much more effective. Oh, we've dented it. One dented bronze colossus. The iron ballista arrow, on the other hand, didn't have much effect. Oh well. Yes, we are actually... The steel ballista arrow has a positively useful effect. Plus, it did still sail all the way through, so it gets to be reused. Unfortunately, all the arrows are in the wrong places. But we'll just leave this. Yeah, we'll let the... We'll see whether the Colossus can manage to get through that door before it gets smashed up with ballista arrows. Good, we've got another kitten. I think that caused some damage. I'm not sure. I think that may have missed entirely. Oh, we now have a problem. Ballistae can't hit creatures that are lying down. Guess what the Bronze Colossus is doing now that we've broken both of its legs? So we can't hit the Bronze Colossus with... Thank you, you have made us a granite oakin. You're made of granite, encrusted with granite, with spikes of granite. Small handheld wooden wind instrument consisting of a central wind chest and 13 cylindrical stone pipes with flared bells fitted with free reeds. I presume no, it's got reeds. It's not like an ocarina at all. Oh, what's that cage? Okay, no, there's just a random copper cage lying around down there. I think I need to sort out a means of safely dropping this thing. So it's got quite a lot of space above it. I think has the awkward consequence that we're going to have to build like a floor out here to allow us to suspend it from a to attach a support above it. So now, what I think I want to do, actually, is to try to see if that rock wants to join the Bronze Colossus. Right, we have now got a door here. So if people will stop boozing up here and start going downstairs to do so, we can unlock the front door at least and theoretically allow the arriving and very rapidly dying immigrants to actually come into the fortress. Because it looks like there are two live people up there who might want to come in. Or like they might not. Actually, we do need to wait for the lever to be pulled, don't we? Otherwise they are just going to stay out there. What? No, that's fine. I think the Bronze Colossus is trying to leave now. Maybe Bronze Colossi aren't building destroyers either. No, not that one. I think I actually... No, I think it's a higher priority. Oh, what's my... We know that we can get the Bronze Colossus back in. So, actually, I think it's perfectly reasonable to let the Bronze Colossus out. No, what we should do then is unlock... Well, is let the Bronze Colossus at least get reasonably far out. And unlock that door, but pay close attention. Someone will unlock the door for you in a bit, my dear immigrant. I mean, I am admittedly a little worried that someone is going to now attempt to actually go out onto the surface. So for safety, I'm going to lock that door. But then declare a small meeting area there in the hope that the immigrants will try to use it, assuming there are any immigrants alive. Oh! Right, the rock and the bronze colossus are now fighting one another. And like, I don't think, even though the bronze colossus has 2 broken legs, I kind of suspect that this is not going to go well for the rock. No. Yep, 1 dead rock. Took a while, but I think it essentially bled to death there. So I think we still have, yes, our incoming immigrants mostly arrived here. We do seem to have one of them left alive. Right, the bronze colossus has come back into the target area, so while we can't actually hit it because it's lying down, that seems like a good place. Actually, let's leave that unlocked for now while the bronze colossus crawls over there. Go on, close the door, someone. Happily, the bronze colossus is dithering. Might mean that someone will reach the lever. Well, our Colossus already doesn't have any legs, so... Right. Colossus properly locked in. I think the Colossus is actually not a building destroyer either. I'll just check. Okay, no, Bronze Colossus is a building destroyer, so it can probably get through that door eventually and kill the kitten, which is unfortunate, but like we've at least got it locked in. The rock is dead. That means we can unlock this door, and anyone outside who's still alive is allowed in. Or there's the alpaca wool cloak it left. Right, yes, someone will probably... Right, let's sort out coffins for everyone. Oh dear, we need to make a lot more slabs, don't we? Well, what the pond grabber has done now is killed one of my dwarves. Which is obviously unacceptable. What? No, I didn't mean a fortification. For once, when I said fortification, I meant floor instead of the other way around. They weren't... Yes! They weren't directly trying to kill it. They were trying to cut down a tree in order that we could drop some rocks on the pond grabber's head. What rotting thing is there around here then? No, I can't find it. Oh dear, it's getting late. I need to think about whether I need to... I don't think I can sensibly... Oh, we're getting there actually. I'd like to try to get this cave-in done. A lever around here. There isn't at the moment, is there? Yeah, I'm going to need more mechanisms. I may as well allow people to use all of the ballista arrows and just get more practice. Yeah, actually that'll probably work. I mean, I don't really mind the bronze colossus being there, as long as it doesn't come out. And even then we know how to get it back in. And it can be entertained by the ballista arrows repeatedly sailing over its head. Now there's no such thing as griffins. Everyone knows they're imaginary. You can't curry bronze. Trapping it might be a bit tricky. Is it? Let me look up the page on bronze colossuses again. Are they trap avoidant? No, apparently they're not trap avoidant. Building destroyers, but can't. But not but not actually able to avoid traps. But like, I'm also quite happy, I think, with the idea of just keeping it down there as a Right, so we need to get this... Oh, Stoats. I've accidentally left a random section of floor holding up the thing, so now I need to carefully remove that floor, which involves installing another bit of floor. Well, yes, partly because I'm making a pig's ear of it. Right. Now remove that bit of floor again. All right, with our rate limiting step appears to be finding an architect for this pillar. someone is assigned to the job at least. And then someone needs to link it up to the lever. I suppose actually that floor will hold it in place if necessary. So I can actually remove that. So now, has that lever been built yet? No. Well, we can remove that floor now. That lever's present, so now I can connect that up to the support. Yes, that support. Oh, hang on, don't remove that floor. We need that in order to be able to get to the support. DX. Leave that floor in place, please. Why is no one butchering this water buffalo? Eh? Lovely fresh water buffalo corpse there. Let's forcibly schedule a butchering job. Maybe I accidentally turned off butchering jobs. OW. Big W. No, auto butcher is on. Okay, you apparently can't butcher that water buffalo corpse for some reason. Okay, well, we'll throw it away then. So the incredibly tedious business of connecting up the lever to the support is underway. Once this is done, then we remove that floor. Note how slow it is to lug stuff over there. Why are there so many people heading into that area? There's some interesting objects in there. Apparently so. Right, it should now be safe to remove that floor, because the support will hold the thing up. Right, meanwhile, what's the grave situation like? Is it, in fact, a grave? So we need stackered semiraltar. Where are they? Am I being an idiot? The other one, bomb wreck thingamy. No. So stackered and Cadol bomb wreck 10 shed. Oh, maybe I was wrong. Cadol bomb wreck 10 shed. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. Someone should be coming along in a bit to remove that floor. Here they are. Standing on the correct side of it and everything. And then the only thing supporting the big bit of rock should be that support. Removing floors is a surprisingly slow process. Right. I think now only the support is holding it up. So I think as soon as it's linked up, someone can pull the lever. Right. So here we come with the other mechanism. Masterpiece rockbone ring. So now someone is coming to pull the lever. Okay, I'm slightly worried by the sheer number of people bimbling around here. So I'm just for paranoia's sake going to forbid any items up here. What are you doing? Right, well, we successfully caused that cave in. So that section now walled off from... So the water will come in here, but if we can drain this area, that will presumably air drown the pond grabber. Presumably. and allow us to get at the corpses of the two unfortunate dwarves. So I think what we should do in order to achieve that is simply to tunnel through this wall here and then run away, and like the water will spread out over this large area and should be perfectly safe. I don't think we need to engage in careful drainage procedures here. Okay, it will flood that tunnel, which will be slightly embarrassing because we've dug all the gems out that stopped it flooding. That's fine, there's nothing very valuable in that tunnel anyway. And if we're over here, we'll probably be far enough away from the pond grabber that it won't be able to get us. So let's see how fatal this is then. Then once we've done that, I'll save and stop, because I don't think we have to kill the pond grabber. See, sensibly running away. The water is unfortunately flooding that tunnel a bit. And there's a season boundary. So I think we will stop after that, because we're now in a sensible position. We've got the pond grabber. Well, I don't know where the pond grabber is actually. Oh, there it is. On the left-hand side of the area, desperately trying to find some remaining water. I don't think they're amphibians, so I think once, but even so, even if they are, we send like 10 reasonably well armed and armoured dwarves after it, and they'll kill it. And then maybe we'll start getting wildlife again. I mean, wildlife that isn't exciting like bronze colossuses or rocks. Right, it is now summer. I think I may play through an entire year this evening. Oh well. So, success of a sort, though we are slightly flooding that poor tunnel, which is a pity, but we don't really need it anymore, because it was there to get us underneath the water, and then we drained all the water away. Right, so, good night all, and we will see you whenever we see you, probably next Friday, but I'm not sure.